Hey everybody, I'm Bluetooth and I'm playing Legends on A Link to the Past. Last time we went to Kakariko Village and got some new items and another heart container. This time we're going to continue off in the second dungeon, because Harukas was the first dungeon. But we are going into the Eastern Palace. So if you go left or right, it's just dead ends and cliffs. So if you pick up that pot, there is a switch underneath you, which you can step on. Stepping on it again will close the door, so that's how we do that. As you can see, those other ways would be dead ends. Yeah, here's some new enemies that won't do anything really bad unless we... well, they don't do much at all, so... yeah. But as you can see, the door ahead is blocked. But if you have a very good eye, you can see that just here is a switch, and if you press it, both doors will open and we can go forward. Now I'm going to be taking the shortcut by jumping that way. Now we want to dodge these and go into the side walls, and at some point a big one will come through and you'll be forced back. Ooh, missed it by that much. Now we can go this way, and this is completely optional, but it's very helpful because it's green rupees on the outside, blue rupees are on the middle, and then on the complete middle is 100 rupees. So well worth your time. Anyway, back here we want to go up this ladder, stair thing, and go through this door. Now, I think this is pretty optional to go this way, but I'm going to go this way just because I want to go for everything in the game. And that includes compass and map, which, yes, there is a compass and map for the dungeon, because at the moment we can't really see anything except for this floor. So, but these are actually linked floors because they're both on the same room. Really, it's not really much, but anyway. So there's a button under there we can get. And we can go down, and then you can't go up any other way, so we have to get to it like this. Now to go back, we just go up the stairs and then back through here. We have to go back through here and back into the main room. And up there, as you see, is a large chest. We'll find out what that does later. So there's some buttons behind these pots on both sides. Some monsters here. Just fight these guys. They'll jump when your sword is striking, so you want to corner them to get them properly. But they're just not that hard to kill, as you can see here. Let's go on. Now, as you can see, both doors just locked, and now there are some skeletons trying to kill me. So what you want to do really is just throw pots at them and they'll die. That's a quick way of doing it. Or you could just swing your sword at them and they'll be done that way. Nothing really important under the pots. And now up here, now that we've got the map, is the compass. So now that we've got both those items, we can see that there's only 2 floors, and both the floors are the exact same, really. So the boss is the flashing skull on the second floor. The first floor is only a few more rooms left to try out, actually. I'm looking to. So out of the map, we can go down the stairs now and go through here. And now we're on the lower part of the dungeon thing. Bluetooth 10 is I can talk to you telepathically when you touch these tiles. Not really weird at all. Here's a hint. You can use the hidden treasure in this palace to defeat armored foes. What's the hidden treasure of this palace? Place, dungeon. Anyway, some arrows into there. Here's the chest here. But we can't actually open it yet. It's locked. Need a big key, and if you know from the last dungeon, the big key is the key that we got to unlock Zelda's dungeon thing. So now going up here, there's nothing else to do in there. These guys we can't actually hurt, so we need to just dodge them. They'll also extract magic power from you, so beware of them. There'll be a way to defeat them in future, but for now we're gonna have to dodge them. Now this room is required because there is a key in here, and you always need all the keys in each dungeon, so there's also just some extra stuff underneath all of these pots. Not required, but you can still do it. Now going on that switch there that I didn't mention earlier, you have to press it to get into that room while these things are chasing you. Now we've got a key, we can open that door and then we can go right across here again. This looks very familiar. Now this room is gonna be special. There's lots of enemies, and it's also locked up there by a big door. That's what we need the big key for. So that's what you can use the big key for in the dungeons. You need it for 1, a big chest, and 2, big doors. I say big doors because there's some dungeons where there's more than one that you need. Now that's almost everything, but here is a new enemy that we saw before but didn't fight. You can only get them if you get close. They'll wake up, and then you have to slash them in the eye. Just don't let them hurt you, and you should be fine. And now those guys are off that. And if we look under it, there's a switch, and that allows us to get the big key. So now we have access to this door here, and the big chest in the main room. So let's see you there. So now that we're here, we want to open this chest and we get the bow. So we can now shoot arrows. Good thing we've got arrows. These guys, they'll throw their heads at you, that's not weird at all. But you cannot you can't beat them unless you, you can only knock them back. You can't actually kill them, so don't try. Now I want to get my bug net out and fall down this hole, because these will take us down to a lower level. This is a fairy, we can keep them in bottles, and then we can just pick them up and they'll restore our hearts. And they will automatically re-heal you if you die, so they'll also come in handy. So, next up in this room there's a couple of enemies, but it's quite dark in here, so I'm going to try lighting it up. Of course it won't last forever, so we need to remember that. Now these guys are fighting me, well this one is. You want to take them out one at a time, otherwise it'll be quite tricky to take them out because it's going to be dark and all that. So you want to take them out one at a time and try not to die that well. Okay, I'm going to quickly grab this rupee and light up the room some more so I can see what I'm doing. Always helpful. But actually, I'm going to quickly get out my bow. But if you can shoot him with the eye with your bow, it's a one-hit kill and that's it. Now over here is an optional room that you do not need to go out into for any reason, but it's got lots of money in it and I want money. Who wouldn't? I'm going to just leave that for now, and I'm going to actually use my potion now that I'm low on health and all that. Hopefully there's nothing wrong in here. So I'm going to go here, use my potion so I have magic and life, and now that I've got an empty bottle, I'm going to jump down this hole and get another fairy. Good thing I didn't catch it, run into it and then have to come down again. They respawn every time you go down, so good way of refilling on hearts and fairies. Now, one of them dropped a key, so we can now go into this room here. Now, these are the last few rooms of the dungeon, so there's a button there that we can step on and go through. And now, these guys I want to take out with my bow. Now, there's some switches, but not all of them work, so it's the bottom one that works, and then we can go straight through here. Now, I believe it's this one up here that we press to open up this door. And then if we look at our map, we are very close to the end of the dungeon. Now this guy that is red, you can only take him out with a bow, so be careful because you can't actually kill him with anything else. Now this thing on the ground before this door is to represent that the boss is up ahead. That was very stylish. Okay, now there's two of these guys. If you can manage to get one following you, which I'm hoping to do. No. Okay, now that I've split them up a bit more, I should be able to get them apart. Okay, that's one down. Two down. Okay. So, we've gone through the dungeon, and now we're at the boss. Let's do this. So this is the boss. What I like doing, and probably this is how it's meant to be done, sort of, is going up into this corner up here, and then just shooting arrows at them. This will take them out quite quickly. And then this one will just keep trying to jump on you. Keep slashing your sword and you should be fine, except it may stomp on you sometimes like that. But if you keep slashing your sword and keep staying in position, you should be good. And then you get another heart container. And then the pendant appears. You won the Pendant of Courage. Take it to Shara. 2 pendants remain. Okay, and that's the second dungeon. That was over pretty quickly. Now we've got some more time so we can run around Hyrule a bit more and get some new items now that we've got a bow. Or not really. But first off we want to go over to Shara, the guy, person, thing over here. Because he said he was going to give us a magical artifact after we got the pendant. Oh, you got the Pendant of Courage? Now I'll tell you more of the legend. 3 or 4 generations ago, an old order of knights protected the royalty of Hylia. Those knights of Hyrule were also guardians of the Pendant of Courage. Unfortunately, most of them were destroyed in the Great War against Evil that took place when the 7 wise men created their seal. Among the descendants of the Knights of Hyrule, a hero must appear. I see. Butch 10. I believe you should get the remaining pendants and carry this with you. This is a treasure passed down by the families of the wise men. I want you to have it. We got the Pegasus shoes. Now we can dash. So, no longer going slowly around Hyrule. We're going to do this all over Hyrule now. So now that we've done that, we want to go to the next pendant location, which is now on our map. We want to go to the blue pendant, then the red pendant, so now pressing A will let us, and holding it will allow us to run. As you can see, you can bump into things and bounce backwards. but mostly it's just running. So this will be helpful for getting all around Hyrule much faster. So, we want to go over to where that is, but not quite yet, so meet you over by where we need to be. So now that we have the Pegasus boots, we can now dash into things and bump them out of the way. Now down this hole here is a fairy fountain. We can now get fairies here anytime we want to, so that's a good thing to remember right here next to Link's house area. Also, the bow will take out most enemies in one hit. And while we're here, I'd like to quickly go down, right down here, and quickly take out this guy. Play his own game. As you can see, his arrows bounced off mine, so we didn't get any hits on each other. But now, just a sec, don't interrupt me, game. Now that we have Pegasus boots, we can also run into this tree and it will let us have a fairy. That will happen every time we come to this tree, so remember that if you ever need it. Now, we've already passed the way we're meant to be going to go to the, where we're going, because where we're meant to be going is south of Link's house, but instead I've gone over here, because if we go over here, there is something we'd like to pick up. Just a extra item you might want. So going into here, there is a book on top there. We can now dash into it, the bookcase, and it'll fall down. Now we can pick up the Book of Mordora. This will allow us to translate languages of old. So let's get moving down. So now that we've got that, we can go back to Link's house and continue with the great and grand journey. So now down here is a completely new area, and first off, what I like to do is note that there is a bombable wall here because of the cracks and all that. So let's open that up. Now in here is an extra fairy if you ever really need it, so that's helpful. So the only other thing we can really do now is just go to where we need to be. Oh, and we can't swim. So this will be used later, but for now let's just go this way. Okay, we found a thief and we caught him somehow. I didn't actually notice much because of the dashing. This is a new enemy. They'll hide under rocks and then you can just slash them with your sword. Now, this is the old man that is a thief. Because, you know, in the forest we found out there was a thief's hideout, and they were talking about, like, a guy who was pretending to be a middle-aged man who was a thief near the desert. So it looks like we're going to a desert next. Also a cave up here, which has another fairy. So they're making sure that you don't die if you're low in health ever. I personally am not having any trouble with it. So now we are here in the desert. First off, let's go north, explore a bit. So if we go up here, and up here, and through here. This guy will say that the Book of Mordora, you can use it to read the Hylian people's language, so I guess we need it at some point in the desert. But something else that's in here is a wall that we can bomb, and get hurt by the bomb. We can go down here, and there is a piece of heart in here. That'll be helpful. Now we just want to exit and continue exploring the desert. So now that we're out here, we want to go around a bit more, mostly to the corner over here, to the west. So up here, we find that the entrance to the next dungeon is there, but we can't really get through it because there's this thing in the way. So we went through the second dungeon, and we've got the Book of Mordora, and a bow, and an extra heart, and several other things we did. But next time on Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past, we will figure out how to get into the third dungeon and continue with our quest. See you guys then.